Hello everyone and welcome to replay analysis video of REBBL. This is match day 8 and this is my Dark Elves versus some Chaos. So last week we played against Wood Elves, now we're almost at the other end of the spectrum and we're playing against Ratzer and his Chaos. There we go. Right, so we've been put in to defend by the Chaos. It is very sunny. We're playing at our home stadium with the beer stand. So a quick look at the two teams. We've still only got 11 players, unfortunately, and he's also only got 11 players. So my strategy point here is that if we can pick on any of the Armour 8 Beastmen, and we have got 2 players with Mighty Blow, maybe we can not keep parity with numbers, but we can certainly mean it's maybe if I'm down to 7, he might be down to 9, and that's possible. It is a bit of a problem we've been put into bat. I would massively rather have received, so we try and do some damage, but maybe we'll be okay. Following the last game, no one levelled up, so we are as we are. It's worth looking at his team. So he's running a dirty player, but he's only got 11 players. He's got a tackle, claw, mighty blow here. Three of the warriors have got dodge, so they're going to be a challenge to deal with. And he's also running a claw palm. Nice to see we get a free reroll. Okay, that's one that survived. If they just stay on the field after the first line of scrimmage hits, this is a win. So they've all survived so far, since two got knocked down and one stayed on his feet. Comes in with the blitz, rolls a push. Not upset with that. And this guy might be available for a blitz. He's done a good job there of defending that. Picks the ball up. What Ratzer does have is a good few players with tackle. So farming like it. He does have a few players with tackle. So it isn't straightforward to get through this. He's got 4 players with tackle, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Let's just see what happens. Pause now. He's committed to what he's going to do. And at this point, I would actually say that the Chaos haven't particularly, sorry Ratzer, particularly set up very well. And the reason for that is because this Chaos Warrior being stood here rather than here meant that this is obviously the player that I need to blitz. And actually the right thing to do is come through, blitz, follow up, and then I can stand some players here and threaten the ball carrier. And the ball can only then get to here next turn, or he can hand it off and get the ball over here next turn, which is where he's going to want to go. And the way that dynamic is then going to turn out is that the following turn he's going to be over here, and we will have cut some of these players off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players have been chopped off because we've run through, and that on about turn 4 or 5, he's going to be under enough pressure that we might actually make him score. If, however, as a strategy point, he brought the ball in, and he brought the tackle around the back, and he'd made it into a cage, what you're then saying to me is that, yeah, sure, you send in that Wrestle Witch. If you do that, she's going to get stood on. She's going to get punched, you're going to have to base stuff up, and you're going to have one shot at getting the ball off me. So I'm not sure that I would have taken it back. It looks safer, and it is completely safe this turn, but I think the way that it's going to play out over the following couple of turns, not so much. That's a real shame that wasn't a knockdown. So we have to then retreat. I could have sent some players through, but the players that I want to absolutely send through are the Agility 5, and at the moment they don't really all have dodge, so that non-knockdown actually has stopped that play from happening, which is a shame. I stick a diving tackle against a complete know-nothing beast. That one should have been there. I need someone in this square here, otherwise he puts an assist in here. And if he gets the knockdown, this guy, who is quite interesting actually, I can't believe we've not talked about, is going to get to have a hit on the Witch Elf. So send DEFBL through. If you've watched this replay analysis video, following on just from watching the other one, notice that DEFBL has fallen over and failed something, by the way. So I'll say that again, DEFBL has fallen over and failed. Oh, double skulls in 2 pushes. That is deeply unlucky. So, right, just want to, while he sets up his turn, talk about this warrior. So he's got leap, long legs, and tackle and block. So he's strength 4, and he leaps on a 2+, and he's got block tackle. So that is a different variant of my witch elf, who's a pain in the arse. So he now chooses to bring the ball forwards, throws the ball to the warrior. Luckily for me, DEFBL's now been removed from the play this drive, because bear in mind he's useless. So the one thing I was just about to get to, which I didn't get to, which is I've got a wizard. So looking at this is the turn to go wizarding, and the reason for that is because look at where the ball could have landed. So falls there, it's going to fall into one of the 8 squares. If it lands in one of these 3, it's obviously a great square because it's not in tackle zone. Sorry, one of these 4. That's good. That's fine because it's only in a 1 tackle zone. That would be bad. That would be good. So I've got 4 in 8, which is brilliant. I've got 3 in 8, which doesn't really matter because I've got an agility 5 witch elf, and I've got 1 in 8 where I'd actually have to sit and ponder and work out how to do something with it. So this was the turn to go wizarding. And at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's through on 2+, 2+, and then it's a case of how do I then generate some equity and get the ball forwards a bit more and away from this guy. And it might be that we go blitz this guy down and then run through, maybe. It's all about trying to get away. So let's see what we do. Oh, in fact, it's better. It's go for this guy, isn't it? It's an AV break there. Oh, even better. A removal there means that you can then get the ball onto that same witch elf. So all we need to do now, there we go, is just get away. Okay, so I've gone a different route, but the same idea. Actually think I would have thrown the ball from there. I think throwing the ball from there was stronger because then I could have stood here. And then we bring the diving tackle through to stop this guy being annoying. And then setting up for a mighty blow hit. That's a little bit greedy. Stand there. I should have stood there. Definitely should have stood there. Because what you don't want is him being annoying. Dodging. But this is going well. This is absolutely going well. We stole the ball. We've knocked out his primary ball carrier. We've had DEFBL taken out of the game, which is actually a good thing because he's useless. And he's going to have to leap and then dodge on a 3. Okay, makes the leap. That's where he's leaping, wow. Gets the tackle. No armor break, which is fine. That double go for it, having used the reroll, was huge there because I'd been planning all turn to just blitz with a Mighty Blow Elf on this one and have off with it. By making that double go for it, actually, what you've done there is you've made me reconsider a lot of options. So we get the knockdown, put it in this square. Wrong square, David, wrong square. And then mighty blow here. I think actually that was the wrong play because I know I had to dodge away from tackle on that one, but I think I'd rather have seen a better hit. Ooh, that's going to make this dodge now difficult. Got the ball. And because we followed up here, that left this guy completely free. If I'd have not followed up, we might be able to do something better here. And bear in mind that I've left ever available to be blitzed, because what you wanted to do, of course, is have the witch elf on this square and then something here to protect the screen. And then, so I think I didn't do that turn very effectively. The mighty blow hit there was a gamble, which I got paid for, but overall, not happy with that. Not a good turn. The final thing to say is I would want to try and score as slowly as possible on this drive, because if you give the Chaos 4 turns to score back, this time around you don't have a wizard, and we'd then be in trouble. Do want to try and get that. Yeah, totally reasonable. 2+ into a 55% play. Yeah. Gets away from the jump up, which is annoying. Yeah, you can see you are putting the Chaos under a lot of stress, because you notice the number of times he's going to double go for it here and there. So blitz, get the knockdown, push into this square here, I think. Now, for me, Death Battle actually does need some levels, so I think I'd have picked that ball up there. This is about trying to generate more hits. The ball up. And then I chose to score because the threat of the Agility 4 warrior with leap and the lying down guy meant that it was almost impossible to screen. So, do we get a knockout back? No. Does he get his knockout back? No. So it's 10 plays 10. And we have scored. We're also sat on 3 rerolls, and he's only sat on 1. So maybe there's a thing. God, this team needs a kick player. I hadn't noticed how much this team needs a kick player until now. That's interesting. Not sure how I feel about that, watching the replay back. The ball is now on a blodge strength 4, and I don't have any strength 4 tackle, and I also don't have any guard. I don't think I like that. I'd be piling on there. Yep. Unlucky. Bearing in mind that was a 7+ with a reroll to remove a player. 7+ with a reroll, you're looking at, I don't know, a very high chance. 75% at least, I would think. Defence isn't tight enough. I think he's going to have to move the ball somewhere in here. 2 players to pick on, this one or this one. I think I prefer picking on this guy with the Witch Elf. Lucky for me, I got a casualty, didn't use my blade there. Would have gone for that one, and we would have picked up a knockdown, we would have casualtied that. So this turn is just can we defend ourselves? Again, just trying to pick on the basic beastman with blodge players because it induces a potential failure rate, and it also means that he's got one player less he can do something with. So this is about trying to just slightly slice away at what his options are. Doesn't get the knockdown. Does go for the reroll. I think that's a little greedy, but I can understand why he's done it. Again, quite unlucky to not get a removal. Where he chose to push me has meant that he's now struggling to get the ball forward. And this is where, this is absolutely a turn. I'll pause this. I'm going to pause this because I don't care where he goes. This is the turn when you put the diving tackle against the side of the ball, put it against the ball. Because if you can put the diving tackle against the ball this turn, his agility 4 is over here. It's not like hand-offable. And that you are then forcing something to happen, and with 4 rerolls I should be able to force something. Maybe, and I haven't looked, I can't see the player pieces, the only other play that I'd even be considering at this point is can I get a 1 or a 2 dice attack on the ball? I suspect not, but let's have a look. So, no, right, this guy comes around the top, this guy blitzes, you stand up, you play complete and utter total pressure ball. Oh dear. I wondered what went wrong. Oh dear. Double one. This team, it's double ones, honestly. So then you'd have got this guy in here, you've got sidestepper on, when we would be absolutely in pole position to be scoring. I think now we're in a lot of trouble. Say what now? The only thing that might save the Dark Delights now is that the Chaos Warrior does need to make some go for it to score. Right, he needs to make three go for it over 2 turns. Silent Oddity is injured. Luckily for me, just badly hurt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might even pause this video and grab a cup of coffee and come back. I'm very sorry. And Chubstep's been injured. Apothecary that into miss next game, so he's not going to play for the rest of this game or next game. Bindu has been sent off, but that is a huge trade. That player for me is worth about 240 TV. For him, he's worth 80 TV. So that is a huge trade. Always going to stick a player in scoring range if you can, if you've got any chance of doing anything. Oh, I think I'd have. Okay, so this is about trying to take out the actual scoring threats. So look, he hasn't really got much he can do that are viable scoring threats. In fact, he's only got 1 actual scoring threat now. So this guy needs a bit more marking. And this is a misplay from me. I should have acknowledged that he's only got 1 guy that can score. And this is not good enough. Because that is going to be the person that gets blitzed. It's just not good enough. So he needs to do a 3+ handoff. And then 2+ dodge. With a reroll, that is fairly likely. We sat somewhere in about a 70% mark, I'd imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Score. So 2-2. Sorry, 1-1 at the half. But the good news is it's now my drive, and we're looking good for a 2-1 win. 2 KOs. KO doesn't return. His KO does return, so I'm a player down. But at the start of the game, if you said I'm a player down at the half, you would have taken that. The downside is we are stat boosted players down, so we're more than just generically players down. This is going to be a pain. This is going to be a problem. And you notice what he's done there is he stuck strength 4 blodge on the line, because I've only got well, I've got a couple of tackle players, but I don't have any guard, so I can't do anything to this. This is quite nice. Oh, sorry, this is 1 turn. Never mind. We'd be better off setting up for a riot than trying to go for this. Because you're more likely to try and injure something. So injuring something like that agility 4 tackle would be quite nice. Both teams get another reroll, which I can't use. Quick snap would have been the best possible kickoff result there. Oh. So what I've got there is I potentially could have blitzed this guy, but actually leaving the witch elf back 1 has meant that I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it was not a good idea. Pushes. Oh well. All he needs to do now is throw the ball. And Eva is inspired by the rest of her teammates who have been useless that turn and chooses not to. So, fine. Do we get our KO back? Yes, REBBL chooses to come back, so it is 9 plays 9. So point of strategy now is 9 plays 9 depends a little bit on how he sets up as to whether or not it's worth trying to commit players to the line of scrimmage. If it is possible to deal with the line of scrimmage, it's generally better to do so because it's the extra hits. If it's not, then don't. And looking at this, is it possible? Yes, but not easily. I think I'd like to try. But I'd like to see a blitz on this one. That's not set up properly. Throw a rock. Fake has been removed. So that was my tackle player to deal with this. So no, it's now not about going for the line of scrimmage at all, because that all I need to do is step the loner in here and block here as the opener, but it went wrong. So now it's about trying to level up REBBL. Push. Knock down. No removal that time. Makes a safe though. That square to cover this. So she's now safe. Need to be slightly careful that I don't commit too... Yeah, bear there was better. That I don't commit too many players over here, because otherwise the Chaos then get to then throw their weight into us, which is bad. Okay, can you... between the 2 Agility 5 players, they managed to look completely Agility 2, and REBBL has had a hand in something else going wrong. Well done, REBBL. Question for you: do you think I'm being unfair to REBBL, or is he completely useless? Would have liked to have seen a blitz off this guy, because if you're going to blitz there, you may as well be piling on to try and generate some equity. As it is 9-9, I think you need to do that. So Ratzer, I would have liked to have seen the blitz there. But this is broadly fine. What he has done is he's done a very good job of leaving me very little that's safe to blitz with Mighty Blow. So that's a good effort. Okay, so again, this is the one that you want to take out, but do you want to open your turn with a naked 2+ dice roll? It turns out I do. Throw the ball. Well done, REBBL. Or if probability says that he's not going to keep fucking things up. That was not needed, that move there. He would have been much better than being further around. So now we can apply Mighty Blow. Ooh, got an injury. Nice. And then you just need to get this last line elf I'm about to move into this square here to protect her again. And actually you want to then come over here. So strategy-wise for the Dark Elves now, this is actually going really well. All of a sudden this is going really well because Bull's here on Agility 5. This guy's not in the right place. He needs to be over here, screened by these two. This guy needs to run over here. But I know me, that I'd want to get the ball onto REBBL at some point to throw the ball with him. And then these three need to then start to split up a little bit, because next turn he's not going to give me opportunity to use the Mighty Blow Witch to get any more hits. Mighty Blow Witch is on 40 points, so if you can score with it, yeah, it's fine. But just take a bit longer, don't rush this, we're fine. And this is where Chaos, when the player's down, start to struggle. So unlucky. I think I'd have re-rolled that on that occasion because I could put tackle against both of these two. But you see now, no hits. There is no free hits here. No free hits. Stunned. Okay, that's fine. That's got a dodge. Yep. So she just needs to run away. And now it's blitzing this guy. Because if you blitz this guy, these can then form the screen. But this is where I think I'm committing a little bit too soon. But yeah, Witch Elf is noticed she's out of range of this. And then by knocking the Agility 5 on its arse, he can't go anywhere. So Bull's safe. Agility 5 isn't going to find a threat. I think I'd have been better off getting this guy over here. Also, I think this would have been better over here because look at where we want to run into. We want to run into this squares. So by bringing these guys over here, you're then bringing his defence to where I want to run to. So actually, I don't think that was a particularly good move from me. And that will come up in the next turn or so. Now the Witch Elf is to my advantage. She is down here, so she could come and threaten something over here now. So this is threatenable by the Witch. REBBL's got the ball. So he's on 15 points. No wonder he's got the ball. He will be having the ball. I would actually like to see me... yes, I'd not seen the beast. So this is about just trying to outrange this Chaos Warrior. And then me now applying Mighty Blow to the Agility 5. Here. Keeping these further away as possible. No, should have stayed in that square there. And that gives me some scoring threat. So this is going absolutely fine. We keep ranging his Chaos Warrior and taking the ball from one side of the field to the other side so he can't come in and leap and be annoying. He's having absolutely terrible luck with that killer. That's the third or fourth turn in a row it hasn't done anything. He's also now left it a blitzable, so the Mighty Blow Witch could, if I so chose, at the moment, kill it. And in fact, it almost certainly is killable now. Not by Mighty Blow anymore. So, what really I should be looking at trying to do is he's finally, he has now brought the leaping warrior into range and be in the centre of the board. And if you remember from last week, we talked about having the witch elf in the centre because she provides maximum threat. When this guy's in the centre of the board, if he was in this square 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he would actually threaten the entire board in a 7x7 diagonal, because he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he'd be threatening from there all the way across the board. And he'd be threatening 7 squares up here, so he'd take out probably 2/3 of the board, even by a movement 5 player. So being slightly off centre, or in the last turn when he was over here, this side of the board set completely safe. So you've got to be careful where you try and range stuff, where you put your leaping players. This turn, if we can get the ball onto this elf here, he can go and stand in the corner, and that's another turn where we've just completely ranged all of the Chaos players. But we do need to deal with this guy. So I'd like to see this guy come around, blitz, Death Bowl, throw the ball to the Witch Elf, and the Witch Elf run off and hand the ball off over here. So that'd be my play. And do the thing with Death Bowl first, because if you blow the reroll, then there we go, leveled him up. Well done, Death Bowl. Not completely useless. There we go. Very surprised I didn't hand the ball off there. Stun. Hugely important because it means you can't pile on and kill us next turn. Have spotted this Agility 5 player though. Huh. So we use our Agility 5 against his Agility 5. Leave that guy based because he's actually forming a roll. And again, the Chaos are now trying to chase shadows around the field to some extent. Look out for help. That's fine. But the question is, have the Dark Elves gone too early? Because by going as early as this now, next turn we're going to struggle to defend the ball. I would really like to have seen that Chaos Warrior take 2 more steps, because if he was here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he's threatening the whole board again. So he should have been there. I can again try and pull him out of range. It's just important. Do we knock this guy over? No. That makes things a little more tricky. So we have to score. So Dark Elves actually playing around with the ball, but I think maybe I've gone a little bit too soon, and we've given the Chaos fellas enough turns to equalise. So is this going to end in 3-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-1 Dark Elf? What's it going to end in? Get a knockout back. And actually I think we're a player ahead there. So he's 2 injuries and a send-off, and we are 2 injuries. So yeah, we're actually a player up. Now he has got his quarterback player back, so really for us it's about trying to go after the Agility 4 players on his team. Perfect D. doesn't really change a lot, if I'm honest. The shackle is hitting the blodge player, but apart from that, not a lot. So we've got 2 turns, so if we want to try and score and make it 3-1, I've got to commit someone. He's knocked over the blodge, who would have been the logical chess player to send forward. So I suspect that we're now trying to defend. Finally knocks one over. REBBL, of course. Oh, poor REBBL. Is he going to get removed? Would have liked to have not seen a pylon on this turn, because piling on that turn means that this guy isn't stood up, and REBBL is already stunned, so he's not playing any part of my next turn. So a KO doesn't really change a lot, and the tackle would have been quite threatening on the agility 5. Chaos Warrior. So we'll send someone forward. You never know. So that gives me 2 players in. I think they're in scoring range. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, both in scoring range with a double go for it. So blitz this one, you diving tackle mark that one, you take him, range him out of the way of being blitzed by the piling on, and you blitz this way, pushing him into the middle of the field. And I've got 2 rerolls, so I've got 2 turns, so you may as well have made that. It's a shame we didn't make it, because it would have been nice to just pin down his tackle. Now she's blitzable, and it's almost certain that that's what's going to happen to her as well. So he just needs to go round, hand the ball off, or throw it. So he throws it. Not insane, actually. Catches it. Agility 5 and strong arm. I think that pass was a 2+. That's the push. So let's just go get rid of the banner. Right, pause. So the ball is on agility 4 without dodge. So all we need is to bear in mind, I just need 1 assist and we can get in. So has got tackled? Yes. No, sorry, no and no. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can blitz for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 dice into 1 dice. And then the ball carrier, the agility 5 witch, could then get the ball, and I could go 3-1 up here. There's not a lot else to be done. That's my solution this time round. Looking at this, I can't actually remember what I do. Didn't like that. And we rolled a double 1. Brilliant. Doesn't matter what the solution was. It was a double 1. So, and actually, while that was a double 1 and we were a little unlucky, this was my own fault because we scored too quickly. 3 dice, needing a stumbles or a pal. That is about 90% likely to happen, so can't argue with that one. And then all he needs to do is now walk it in with a go for it to score, which he makes. So, we get a draw. At the start of the game, I think if you looked at a draw, you would have thought that's all right. However, we did have a wizard in our pocket, so a defensive touchdown was hugely likely. Plus, we should score on our own offense, so we should be scoring 2, which we did. To concede 2, not sure about that. So, not sure I'm happy with that result. Actually, not sure I'm happy with that result at all. Let's have a quick look at the dice log. So we only break armor 5 times, he broke armor 12 times. Makes a lot of sense. We just only throw 20 blocks again. That's very low. And out of 5 armor breaks, we did get 2 injuries and a KO. So I think we were up there. And he only got 3 removals out of his 12. So I think we had slightly above average removal dice. He had slightly below average removal dice. Overall, yeah, fair enough. So, right, if you enjoyed that one, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, let us know what you think. These videos do take a little bit of time to do, so I want to know and make sure that people are appreciating them. If they're not, we'll just stick to the regular uploads. We'll be back next week for the next Replay Analysis video. Thank you very much. See you soon.